Hello everyone. In our today's topic, we will going to discuss the reason behind the Taliban's ban on the Pakistani rupees in Afghanistan. The Taliban came into power in Afghanistan on 15th August 2021 after the withdrawal of the US troops from the Afghan soil. This is a very well-known fact to the world is that Taliban is a Pakistani baby. Basically, Taliban is a Pakistani-sponsored baby. The Taliban was created by Pakistan in 1994 with the help of the American dollar. Now Taliban is biting their creator back because they understand that what is the real intention of the Pakistanis now. Pakistan received billions of dollars and the American technology to train the Afghan population to fight against USSR in 1970s. They earned the money in the name of creating Islamic fundamentalism in the Afghanistan to rout USSR and to create the strategic debt for Pakistan and US in the Central Asian countries. Both of them were succeeded in doing so. But they failed to understand the true intention of the Taliban in true sense. As if they failed to understand the true intention of Taliban, because of that the world witnessed the most vicious terrorist attack on the American soil, the popularly known as 9/11 Twin Tower attack. As a result of that, the United States invaded Afghanistan in 2001, because Taliban was accused of providing sanctuary for the primary suspect and the leader of the dreaded terrorist organization Al-Qaeda, the Osama bin Laden. But Osama bin Laden was never found in Afghanistan. He was found and killed by the American troops in the Pakistani city Abbottabad. So Pakistanis are the main culprit of every wrongdoings around the world. They earned millions of dollars during the USSR invasion, and they also earned the billions of dollars again during the time of American invasion of 2001. Because after 2001, US used Pakistan as a launchpad to initiate strike against Taliban and the Al-Qaeda leaders. And they were succeeded in doing so. And Pakistan ISI was used by the United States to gather the intelligence against the Al-Qaeda leaders. So Pakistan simply a proxy of the United States. The best way to explain the Pakistan is that the country is the best slave stooge of the United States. And it has been understood by the present Afghanistan government. The Pakistan again trying to earn billions of dollars from the United States in the name of the mitigations of terrorism in the Afghanistan. And this is one of the main reasons Afghanistan has reportedly banned the use of the Pakistani currency, rupee, in the country. The news of the ban has been revealed by the Afghan press agency Khaama Press. According to the press agency, the Taliban intelligence agency's anti-money laundering branch has ordered the Association of the Money Exchange Dealers in a letter to completely ban the use of the Pakistani rupees in financial transactions in Afghanistan. In the letter, they said that all financial transactions, including but not limited to transfer, trade and the currency exchange, are disallowed. But this ban will create the problems for the regular Afghan population. Not only the regular Afghan population, but the regular business owners who depend on the Pakistani rupees for daily expenses like the rent and the food will also have the serious setback due to the decision by the present Taliban regime. Additionally, transactions totaling more than 5 lakh rupees have been prohibited by the exchange brokers. So no one can do the business over 5 lakh rupees. Because according to the issued letters, the dealers may be subjected to the legal action if more than allotted amount was found. So they will going to punish them legally. But in case of Taliban, they will going to give the death penalty to the Afghan population, those who will going to use the more than 5 lakh rupees. But here are some questions arises is that, why Pakistani rupee is so popular in Afghanistan? Since when Afghan populations are using the Pakistani currency? We know that the rule of the Taliban ruined the Afghan economy, and it has not started after 1992 takeover. It actually started since the collapse of the Afghanistan-led President Dr. Najibullah's tenures of presidency. After his presidency, Afghanistan plunged into the civil turmoil, started into the late 1990s. Since then, Pakistan currency has started its domination in the eastern and the southwestern market of the Afghanistan. The circulations of the rupee in the Afghan markets has posed the financial challenges to the local vendors because it leads to the customer loss, and it has then leads to the reduce of the market size, eventually lead to the poor financial performances. Consecutively, after the Taliban militants took over the controls of the country's agency and eventually the whole government in 1992, put the Afghan economy into the grave deep danger. Because Ahsanullah Ahsan, the chairman of the Central Bank of Taliban regime, laid off the contract with the Russian firms to put out the printing of the Afghani notes. But the Afghan notes turned out to be the worthless to use as a currency. Besides these reasons, there were several macro factors that lead to the dramatic collapse of the country's economy. which is why the Afghan lost its value both into the regional and the international markets. In the addition to that, the different warlords in that part of time had introduced their own currencies without any formal approval and the standard procedure of the stated central bank. Therefore, the people who were living across the Duran line were forced to start their daily transaction using Pakistani rupee, which actually caused the Afghan population to rely on the Pakistan financially, economically and politically. And because of that, if the value of the Pakistani rupee fall into the international market, then the Afghan economy impacted into the negative sense. So somehow Pakistan has been able to control the Afghan economy directly by using the influence of their own currency. This is the second reason Afghanistan has ordered its population not to use Pakistani currency anymore. Recently, we have noticed the words of the Afghan representative in the United Nations General Assembly. They have accused Pakistan of interfering in Afghanistan internal matter. They ordered Pakistan not to use Afghan soil to nurture and train the terrorist and the terrorist organization, and not to use Afghan soil to spread terrorism across the world. Because Pakistan is a designated terrorist nation according to the present FATF list. Pakistan is a home of the various terrorist organizations and home of the United Nations designated terrorists like Masood Azhar. Recently, Pakistan blamed Afghanistan to hide the Masood Azhar in Afghanistan. They used this tactic to prevent the further ban by the FATF. Even the Pakistani's largest bank, the Habib Bank Limited, faces the secondary liabilities in a terror financing case in the United States. In this Habib Bank case, in which the plaintiffs had alleged the bank aided and abetted Al-Qaeda terrorism and joined in a conspiracy to launch the attacks that killed or injured 370 people in Afghanistan between 2010 and 2019. So here we are witnessing pathological liar and the victim card player of the world, the Pakistan. By that decision, Pakistan will lose their strategic depth in the Afghanistan. Their economy is already in the bad shape. The Pakistan economy is constantly losing the significance of the world market. Their economy is battered by the devastated flood. Their Prime Minister is begging for the aid to the world by using the begging bowl. So you can see the Pakistan's economy is already dwindling. Over that, the Afghanistan has banned the use of their currency. This will going to put their currency into the deep hole. But the conditions of the Afghan economy also not in good shape. According to the United Nations, half of the country's 39 million population need the humanitarian assistance. The World Bank and the International Monetary Fund have predicted a contraction of the economy by a further 1/3 by the end of the 2022. To make the matter worse, the US froze nearly $9.5 billion in the assets belonging to the Afghan Central Bank and stopped the shipment of the cash to the nation. Of that $9.5 billion, only $3.5 billion was released by the Biden administration, which has established a foundation to spend that money for the Afghan population. Not only that, the $3.5 billion will be spent by a trust, the benefits of the people of the Afghanistan to keep the Taliban out of the bay. So US is controlling the Afghan economy by using the trust which is indirectly being controlled by the US. That is why US gave the $3.5 billion to that trust. So this is the indirect tactic to control the Taliban in the Afghanistan. Look, in my words, the Afghan Taliban is not good for the people of the Afghanistan because they are the fundamentalists. And because of that, they ban the girls' education across the country. They are killing their own economy by not allowing the women into the workforce. But on the other hand, who is truly responsible for the today's Afghanistan? Do you really think US is the saint for the world? Then why they were not promoting fundamentalist Islam during the same time period in Iran? The main reason was oil. They needed the Iranian oil. But in Afghanistan, they wanted USSR out of the region. Even today, US is trying to create the havoc in the Asia by using their favorite pet Pakistan. Pakistan needed to be punished in a definite way. And that punishment can be provided by only Afghanistan. That is why Afghanistan needs to be supported by the regional countries like India, United Arab Emirates, and the other friendly nation. And banning Pakistani rupees is a decisive decision to break the Pakistan's hegemony in the Afghanistan. Now about today's questions. The first question is, the Nobel Prize for Physics 2022 is being shared by the 3 scientists for their work in the which field? The first option is nuclear physics, second option is quantum mechanics, Third option is atomic science. Fourth option is space science. The second question is, who is the recipient of 2022 Nansen Award given by the UN High Commission for Refugees? The first option is Xi Jinping. Second option is Angela Merkel. Third option is Vladimir Zelensky. Fourth option is Anthony Albanese. So this is the end of the topic. If you have any question regarding this topic or any other kind of inquiry, then please mail me to my email address, which is tuhin.power.academy@gmail.com. I hope you will going to find my topic informative. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support.